Hi friends, this is Bilal Heather and this is the 20th video lecture about Unity 3D C Programming. In this video part we are actually going to talk about inputs, about how we handle inputs in our games. So let's say whenever a user is playing your game and he is pressing some keys on his keyboard or touching his smartphone screen or clicking his mouse buttons, how we are going to handle those and what we are going to do with those. Or let's say for example, if a user hits a W key on his keyboard, what our game will do. That's the logic we have to write. Okay, we have to tell our game that whenever our user hits a W key on his keyboard, you do this. Okay, if there is a character, the character should start walking when a W key is hit. Okay, and pretty much any inputs that can be received from a user, we must handle those and we must do something based on those inputs. What I have done here, I have improved the components script a little to explain what about how we handle inputs and how we use conditional statements like if, to use and also use input class, and both of their combination help us write our logic. So let's see how we do it. So this code is pretty much comes from our previous slide or previous video, but these if conditions and these inputs classes are new, and that's what we will discuss in here. To get input from a user, there is an input class which can help us. It has some methods which we can call just like this input dot get key, and this method actually looks for the key to be pressed. Okay, so whatever the key you will pass in into this function, it will start um, waiting for it to be pressed, and whenever it is pressed it will return true. This whole thing will return to true. Okay, and otherwise it will not return true but it will return false. Okay, so if you have written this code in here and the user is pressing the key D on his keyboard continuously, the game will not do anything at all, um, or this statement will not be executed. Okay, because we already know that um, when this if statement, whatever we put inside its parentheses, if that thing or if those conditions return true, then the body of this if condition will be executed. So what this will do, whenever a user presses W key on his keyboard, this thing will return true, and if whatever inside this these parentheses of this if condition returns true, it will execute this code, otherwise it will not execute this code. And we can specify our get keys by writing key code and the key which we want, just like this one. Okay, so if we say that um, whenever our user hits or let's say Z key on his keyboard, we want to turn our light color to red, And how we'll do that? First of all, we write input.getKey input class, and we'll call its getKey method, and inside it we'll write the key code dot z, just like that. And now this code will be executed when z key will be pressed from the keyboard. Okay, we also have another function of this input class, and that is called getKeyDown. Okay, and I have written this key code in it, so that we should be knowing that whenever a key code is pressed, or Q key is pressed, our light should change its color to green. And similarly, we have another function which is self-explanatory. This is executed when you lift up or release your key. Okay, so when we'll press and release our A key on our keyboard, this if condition will be executed, and our color of our light will be turned blue. So let's go ahead and try that and see if it works. So here what we have is a simple scene where we have a main camera, a directional light which is having that component script which we have. We also have our sphere from our previous video, which will definitely increase its size to 3 from 1 when we'll play this game, because that that line which increases its scale is still there. Okay, we can change this sphere's position wherever we want, so let's put it right here. We have a cube which actually does nothing. We have a plane which does nothing also. So we have this very simple scene, and script is attached with our directional lights. So let's hit play and let's see what happens. Okay, this time what happened is our sphere gets bigger. That's fine, but our scene didn't change its color at all. Okay, last time when we were playing this game, as soon as this game was played, our color was changed to red, but this time it didn't happen. That's because we are using our input class, and that input class is sitting there in our game and waiting for either Z, Q, or A. Any one of these keys, when we press them, it will change our lights colors accordingly. So let's try by pressing Z and see what happens. So here we go. Nothing is happening. Let's try keycode.w. Let's save that. Let's come back and let's play it again and see. Okay, this time it worked. Let's hit Q. It worked. Let's hit A. It worked. Okay, so if we will press W, it will turn its color to red. That's what it should do. If we will hit Q, it will change its color to green. If we'll hit A, it will change its color to blue. So that's how we handle inputs. We can also handle inputs like joysticks in Unity, and touch inputs for our smartphones. We'll talk about them later in our later videos when we will be making some games especially for mobile phones or um, for other devices where we use joysticks. And also there are certain methods which are used to handle mouse inputs like input.getMouseButton, input.getMouseButton, and what it is saying that returns whether the given mouse button is held down. So if you will pass 0 in it, 0 is for left mouse button and 1 is for right mouse button. Okay, so if you will put this thing inside an if condition and write some code in its body, that code will be executed whenever you'll hit your left mouse button. So let's say if you have a character and that has a gun and you want to fire bullets out of that gun, whenever a user presses that left mouse button, you have to write this thing inside of your if parenthesis, and then inside your body of your if you will write that code which will fire a bullet out of your gun. Okay, so this was pretty much all about this video part. I hope I made it very simple and easy to understand for you to handle the inputs, and keep watching my videos. Make sure you post reviews about my videos and make any suggestions so that I can improve myself and bring more detailed or full of content material I can bring for you. Okay, so this was pretty much all about this video part. See you next time. Bye.